Hello, today we are going to discuss a new topic in grammar. We are going to talk about articles. English has two types of articles, definite articles and indefinite articles. By the end of this lesson, you are going to be able to practice the use of both types of articles. There are two indefinite articles in English, a and an. We use a and an to refer to any person, place, or thing, not specific ones. Like when we say a girl, we refer to any girl in the world, not a specific girl. And when we say a school, we also refer here to any school in the world, not a specific school. Now you would ask me, when should we use a and when should we use an? Actually, we use the indefinite article a before the words which start with consonant sounds. Example, a book, a laptop, b and l. Both are consonant sounds. That's why we use the a before the words which start with these consonant letters or sounds. Note here that when I discussed in the previous slide when should we use the indefinite article a, I said we use it before the words which start with consonant sounds. Here we focus on this sounds because there is an exceptional case when words start with what seems to be a vowel, but actually it is pronounced as a consonant. That's why we would use a before these words. A unit, a university. So, although unit and university start with U, but we use the a. We didn't say an unit or an university. No, we said a unit, a university. Why? Because we pronounced the U as U, yeah, which is a consonant. We didn't pronounce U here as a vowel. That's why we use the a, not an, and this is an exceptional case. So here you should be very attentive to the cases like this. A would be used before the words which start with a vowel that is pronounced as a consonant. Now we come to the indefinite article an. An is used before the words which start with a vowel sound. Remember with me when you were a young child in school, your teacher have told you this. English has 5 letters which represent all the vowel sounds. These letters are A, I, O, U, and E. So when you see any word which starts with one of these letters, A, I, O, U, E, use an before this word. But please remember with me the exceptional case we discussed in the previous slide. We have discussed countable and uncountable nouns in a previous lesson, but I will remind you here. Countable nouns have 2 forms, singular and plural. Uncountable nouns, on the other hand, have only 1 form. Indefinite articles a and an are used only before the singular form of the uncountable nouns. Let's have a look. A visa, a flat, an ice cream. All of these are countable nouns. We can say visas, flats, ice creams. We use the indefinite article a before any word which begins with a consonant or a vowel that sounds like a consonant. A man, a hat, a university. The indefinite article an is used with words which begins with a vowel. Remember the 5 alphabetic letters which represent vowels. Examples: an apple, an island, an uncle, an egg. Look here at the example, an uncle. We use the an before uncle, which starts with a U, because this U is pronounced as an uncle. Remember the exceptional case when U was pronounced as a consonant. U, unit, university. There, in these examples, we use the a. Note that we don't use the indefinite articles a or an before plural nouns. We can't say a girl's, an elephant's. No, we wouldn't say that. We only use it before singular nouns. Also, we can't use the articles a or an before uncountable nouns. So we can't say a money, a rice. No, we use it only before countable nouns. And remember here that we use it only before the singular form of the countable nouns. We also don't use the indefinite articles a or an before the names of meals, except when these meals are preceded by an adjective. Example: we have dinner at 7 p.m. We didn't say we have a dinner at 7 p.m. We said we have dinner at 7 p.m. So when should we use a? When we use an adjective before the name of the meal. We have a good dinner. We have an amazing dinner. There is another exceptional case where we would use a or an before the names of meals. We will use the articles a or an before the names of meals when this is a special meal given to celebrate something or in someone's honor. So we can say, I was invited to dinner. This is a normal dinner. We don't use a or an here. But when I say I was invited to a dinner given to welcome the new CEO of our company, here this is a special dinner. It is made in the honor of someone, which is the CEO of the company. So here we can use a before the name of the meal. As I told you, English has 2 types of articles: indefinite articles and definite articles. We have discussed together the indefinite articles a and an, and I guess now we know when to use a and when to use an. Now we move to the definite articles, and English has only one definite article, which is the. We use the before nouns whose identities are known. So we use the before nouns when they are mentioned for the second time in the text or in the speech or whenever we talk with each other. The first time we mention someone or something, we use a or an. But the next time or the second time when we repeat that reference to something or someone, we use the. Let's look at some examples. I live in a house. The house is quite old and has 4 bedrooms. When I mentioned house for the first time, I used the a before the word house. But when I mentioned it for the second time, now its identity is known. Now we know what I am talking about. So I used the before the house, before the word house, when it is mentioned for the second time. Another example. I ate in a Chinese restaurant. The restaurant was very good. The first mention of Chinese restaurant, I used the a before it. In the second mention, I used the. A man and a woman were sitting opposite me. The man was Italian, but I think the woman was Chinese. Here again, when we mentioned man and woman for the first time, we used the a before them. But when we mention them for the second time, we used the. We also use the definite article the when it is clear which object or person we talk about. This will be very clear from the context that we're talking about a specific object or a specific person. When we are in a room, for example, we can talk about the lights, the floor, the ceiling, the door, the carpet, etc. It is clear to me and the person I am talking to which objects I am referring to. That's why we use the before these objects even when we mention them for the first time, because it is clear which objects or even persons we are talking about. Let's have an example. Can you switch on the air conditioner, please? It is very clear to the person I am talking to which air conditioner I'm speaking about. We also use the when we talk about known objects or places around us. These will be very clear to everybody. When we say the sun, the moon, the sky, the sea. We also use the when we talk about certain periods of time during the day. So we say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. We use the before the names of countries which include republic, kingdom, states, etc. For example, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the United States of America, the United Kingdom. We also use the before the names of countries, islands, mountains when they are in plural form. Example, the Netherlands, the Canary Islands, the Philippines. We use the in the names of oceans, seas, rivers, and canals. Examples, the Pacific Ocean, the Red Sea, the River Nile, the Suez Canal. Note with me that we don't use the definite article the in some cases. We don't use the with television. So I say, I am watching television. I don't say, I am watching the television. So the is not used with television. The is not also used with the names of meals. I said that before. So we don't use the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner. The is not used with names of people. So I never say the Ahmed, the Ali, the Nof. No, I would say just Ahmed, Ali, Nof. The is not used before the names of continents. Africa, Asia, Europe. The is not used before the names of countries, except if the name of the country includes republic, kingdom, or states. Saudi Arabia, for example, when we said the complete name of the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we used the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But when we use the abbreviated form Saudi Arabia only, we don't use the here. So we say just Saudi Arabia, France, England, India, Finland. So here, these names of countries wouldn't have the. Also, we don't use the before the names of islands like Malta, Sicily, Cyprus. But remember also here that we use the when the name of the island is in plural. When we said the Canary Islands, mountains, we don't use the before the names of mountains like Everest, like Kilimanjaro. Here, when the is not used, we call this case the zero article. And we have this case with, remember with me please, proper nouns, days, months, years, seasons, games, abstract nouns, and materials. Thank you for your listening.